The second idea on today's docket is a voting system that ensures the majority always wins.
Ranked choice voting. We'll call it RCV for short.
Remember, most elections in the United States right now follow a plurality model, where the winner is whoever gets the most votes, even if no one has a majority.
In an RCV election, voters rank their preferred candidate in order of preference. If no candidate receives a majority of first-choice votes, the candidate with the fewest votes is eliminated. And voters who selected that candidate as their first choice have their votes transferred to their second choice. The process continues until one candidate receives a majority of the votes.
Maybe an example here would help. Let's imagine it's 1800 and Thomas Jefferson is in a race against Aaron Burr and John Adams.
I like that Aaron Burr.
I know this song.
Let's make it easy and imagine there were only 20 voters in the election that year. And here are the results. Jefferson has 7 votes, 35%. Burr has 5 votes, 25%. And Adams has 8 votes, 40%.
Now, with plurality voting, the election would be over. Adams has the most votes, and he wins.
But none of the candidates received a majority. So with ranked choice voting, this is only our first go-around. We go to an instant runoff. We drop the candidate with the lowest number of votes, sorry Burr, and count again, this time including the second choice votes of the Burr voters. And it seems like 4 Burr supporters chose Jefferson as their second choice, and 1 chose Adams.
After this round, Jefferson has 11 votes, a majority, and the election is over. Jefferson wins.
RCV is already in action in Maine and Alaska, and in local elections in San Francisco, Minneapolis, and New York. It's also used in other countries around the world, from Ireland to Australia.
Proponents of RCV point to a few benefits. RCV only declares a winner when someone has secured a majority of the vote, and that gives every candidate incentive to reach out to a broad spectrum of voters. Research indicates that RCV may make elections more civil by encouraging candidates to appeal to all sides, to increase their rankings even among voters who would prefer someone else.
Another key benefit of RCV is that it reduces the chance of a spoiled election. Imagine a race with 3 candidates. 2 of them are very similar. Similar backgrounds, similar policies, similar appeal to the same type of voters. These 2 candidates could end up splitting the vote between them, clearing the way for a very different third candidate to win with a plurality of the remaining votes, even though a majority of voters would have preferred either of the other 2 candidates. When that happens, it's called a spoiled election.
Well, it's called that by everybody but the winner. They're usually pretty happy. But ranked choice voting makes spoilers like this a lot less likely.
RCV also allows voters to show support for long-shot third-party candidates or independents, allowing them to vote for candidates who align most closely with their political beliefs, without worrying about wasting their vote.
But some people think that RCV comes with its own set of problems. For one, they think it's too complicated.
It did take us a while to explain it. There were graphics even.
That could lead to confusion in the ballot box. In a wide-open race with many candidates, ranking each of them means either researching every candidate on the ballot or running the risk of voting with incomplete information. That could leave some voters struggling to complete their ballots or feeling discouraged from voting, especially those who aren't too active in politics.
But just to note, most voters who've used RCV seem to like it. In one poll, 94% of Santa Fe voters reported feeling very or at least somewhat satisfied with RCV after using it for the first time.
And finally, some people worry that RCV will water down the political process. They think it's better to have candidates who are willing to take a strong stance, even if it polarizes some voters, rather than a candidate who doesn't want to offend anyone.